Imanium. Just the people up here. So.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
La Yashala.
One again. Okay, you're going to say this. You're going to tell everybody, Imanium, Wapanya, Hakwadam.
Imanium.
Wapanya, Hakwadam. Means rise and face the east.
Say it one more time, sir.
Imanium.
Imanium.
Wapanya.
Wampanya.
Hakwadam.
Hakadam.
Means rise and face the east. Say everybody in here.
Everybody in here. Imanium. Hawapanya. Hakwadam. Means rise and face the east.
We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, then in the English. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Wadash.
Wadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemkah.
Shemkah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malak Wafka.
Malak Wafka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Watazayaka.
Watazayaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Asha.
Asha.
Baratazah.
Baratazah.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Washemayim.
Washemayim.
Nathamlanah.
Nathamlanah.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak now.
Wasalak now.
Kawawak now.
Kawawak now.
Kasalak now.
Kasalak now.
Kawawaki now.
Kawawak now.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Kawaya'i now.
Kawa'i now.
Wanasai one.
Bawasai now.
Abal.
Abal.
Hayashai now.
Hashnawi now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Ra.
Ra.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wahala.
Wahafapa Araf.
Wahala. Wahala.
La'ai Walamyam.
Wala Yahayim.
Aman.
Aman. And in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. As in earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forget our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
This is Hakak, the power, in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Bahashim
Yahushua.
Baba Kusha. Nathanael. Hakak. Lorpa'ah. Kalma'ah. Wakal Manawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hazamarayim. Hakak. Lahatiyam. Hamatiyam. Hakak. Al-Kalrab. Hatazma'al. Like Bahashim Yahusha. The Wada Aman. In the English. Lord, in the name. Yahweh. Yahweh in the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
This is the blessed Israel. Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahushua.
Barak Lanau.
Washa'ala. Wahabayah. Sapari. Barak. Rapah. Magan. Bahashim Yahushua. The Wada Aman. In the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. Bless, heal. Bless, heal, shield. Protect. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it.
This is the blessings in Hebrew. Barak Barakatha Yahweh.
Barakatha Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yaka Allah.
Wa Yahweh Allah.
Wa Allah Hayy.
Wa la Yahayim.
Wa Tazab Ya'ab.
Wa Yabta Za'a.
Allah Wak Yahana.
Allah Wak Yahana.
Ha Allah Wakyam.
Allah Wakyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Sarayim.
Ha Kwatazayanyam.
Ha Satakiyanyam.
Ha Chayayoyam.
Ha Kiknoyam.
Ha Wahakwathyam.
Wa Yahwathim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Tawara Aman.
The Wada Aman. And in the English, bless you Yahweh.
Bless you Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angel.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commander General Yahweh.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you so big.
Thank you so big. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahaharian.
Ahaharian.
Ba'ayan.
Bahayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Izarian.
Azarian.
Izarian.
Azarian.
Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aishah.
Ashah.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawatz.
Watts.
Ragolka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yalam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yayawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yishan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shayomar.
Yasha'al.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Adiyad.
Yamyakad.
Yamyamkad.
Yawamam.
Yamyamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakakad.
Yakakad.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Walayalab.
Wayalam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makora.
Makora.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atnapashka.
The Pashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'afka.
Taza'akta.
Wawa'akad.
Walawakad.
Wayathad.
Wayatham.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Awalam.
Awalam.
Aman.
Aman. In the English. I will lift up my eyes
I will lift my eyes
unto the hills,
unto the hills,
from which cometh my help.
from whence cometh my help.
My help cometh from the Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord, Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is the shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Namayalaka.
Al-Yom-Yakah.
Al-Fakarash.
Al-Takarash.
Wa-Al-Fashakwat.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayankana.
Awayab-Yakah.
Abayamaka.
Yahweh Yawan.
Yahweh Yawan.
Wa-Mashanayaka.
Mishnayaka.
Nasha'awat.
Lashawat.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Imaka.
Amaka.
Ya'arayamwa.
Ayaramya.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wa-Yathaya'ai Tazawat.
Wayathay Tazawat.
Altazakwa Wanyaka.
Wayuka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakium.
Wayukakium.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yasakar.
Yasakar.
Sham Yasha'al.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Iwad.
Iwad.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ai Tazawat.
Now your eye Tazawat.
La.
La.
Yachadwa.
Yakadwa.
Al-Yakad.
Alakab.
Baryath.
Barak.
Yakarachwa.
Yakarapha.
Ahoya.
Ahoya.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Wishemai Aliyam.
Washamai Al-Yam.
Wa'abba.
Mama Abba.
Wahagarian.
Hamagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'anwan.
Ayam.
Wa'amalak.
Agalak.
Halashat.
Halashat.
And Yeshabya.
Amishabya.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Lalawa.
Imam.
Amam.
Hayawa.
Hayawam.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanyalawat.
Labanyawat.
Salam.
Salam.
Aishalaham.
Ashalaham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasa Yasara'ah.
Kasa Asazaram.
Kayakim.
Kayamya.
Banachol.
Walakal.
Wayashwam.
Kawashwam.
Nashamatwa.
Nashamadwan.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Wayam Dadara.
Hayawan.
Hayawan.
Dama.
Dama.
La'adama.
Labadama.
Shayatamwa.
Sharathamwa.
Nadiyapawa.
Ayadamyawa.
Ka'ara.
Kayara.
Because of Abba.
Because of Abba.
Because of Bach.
Because of Bach.
Because of Zolmanai.
Because of Albinai.
Call Nasaya Kabwa.
Call Nasam Yawamya.
Ashar. Amarwa. Nairashah. Nalawa.
Lalomna.
Af. The Awas.
The Af. Alahayim. Shayathamwa. Kagogla. Kakwash. Lapanya. Rakah. Ka'ash. The Ba'aya. Wakala the La'at. Haryam, Khan,
the
Radakma, Basa Akarima,
Wasa Pasca,
Basa Aqua, Bahalulam, Mala'am, Pamaham, Kualawan, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayabahoa, Ayai, Kapara, Abadwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labakwa, Alawan, Al-Kal, Arataza, Aman. And in the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they hate. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarines. Gebal. And Ammon. And Amalek. And the Philistines. With the inhabitants. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher. Is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As to the Midianites. As to Seir. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They become as dung of the earth. Make their nobles. Make their nobles like Oran. And like Zan. Yea. All their princes of Zabah. And as Zalumna. Who said, Let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh in possession. O my Yahweh, O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, as the flame setteth the mountain on fire. So persecute them with thy tempests, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. And they that seek thy name, O Yahweh. They may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it.
These are the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the schools. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose the treasure.
And taking the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refused to give to the
That
school.
refused to give to the school.
Forced their riches.
Forced their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogue.
Amalek synagogue.
And army.
And army.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam. Christianity.
Egyptology. Militia.
Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Comitatus. The gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
programs.
Army.
Navy.
Air Force.
Marines.
Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airways. The cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of our people. That seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction. To all the heathen. That stand in the way. Or try to stop us. Or broadcast your word. Throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth. And consume them. Let the plague. Shake the house of the thief. And the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai. Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers. And punish all the heathen. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it be known. By all. That is the angels. That have done it. Cause it be spread. Through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you always. So be it. Sir, please return. It's for everybody in the audience. Yeshani, which means to sit. Yeshani. Right. We're going to be starting in today in 1 Samuel 9. I'm going to be reading 1 Samuel 9.
What you need, sir?
The swords. It's like the wax.
What you need?
Can you grab a Bible? Come on, sir. Read it. Come, sir. Reading 1 Samuel 9.
What you need, sir?
For Cap. You said you want to keep for a Bible? Come, sir.
I got one right here. You need this one? We at 9
and we're on 1 Samuel 9. We're going to be starting in verse 5. 1 Samuel 9, verse 5. We're going to be reading 5 through 11 in the Hebrew first. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 5. Hama, ba'awah, ba'aratazah, tazawat, washa Allah, no, washa all, so like wall, shamar, lana arwa, ashar, aimwa, laka, lana shawabha, pan, Yachadal, Abaya, Man, Hama, Thanawath, Wada Ag, Lanawa. Verse 6. Waya Amar, Lawa, Hana, Na'a, Ayash, Alahayam, Ba'ayar, Haza'af, Waha Ayash, Nakhabad, Call, Ashar, Yadabar, Bawa'a, Yabawa'a, Aitha, Nalaka,
Shum, Iwalia, Yagayad, Lanawa, Af, the Raknawa, Ashar, Halaknawa, Alia, verse 7. Waya Amar, Sha'awal, Lana Arwa, Wahana, Nalak, Wama, Nabaya'a, La'ayash, Kaya, Halakam, Azal, Makalyanawa, Wathashawarha, Ayan, Laha Baya'a, La'ayash, Alahayim, Ma, Afnawa, verse 8. Wayasa, Hana'ar, La'ai, Nawath, Af, Sha'awal, Waya Amar, Hana, Nama Ataza'a, Bayadya, Rabbi, Shakwal, Kasat, Wanathafya, La'ayash, Ha'alahayim, Wahagayad, Lanawa, Af, Daraknawa, verse 9. Lapanyam, Bayasha'ala, Ka, Amar, Ha'ayash, Bala Kathwa, Ladarawash, Alahayim, Lakwa, Wanalakha, Ain, Hara'ah, Kaya, Lanabaya'a, Hayawam, Yakwara, Lapanyam, Hara'aha, verse 10. Waya Amar, Sha'awal, Lana'arwa, Tawab, Dabarka, Lakab, Nalaka, Nalakha, Waya Lakwa, All, Ha'ayar, Ashar, Sham, Ayash, Ha'alahayim, verse 11. Hama, Alyam, Bama Alha, Ha'aryam, so Ha'ayar, Wahama, Mataza Awa, Na'arwath, Yataza Awath, Lasha'ab, Mayam, Waya Amarwa, Lahan, Hayash, Bazah, Ha'araha, and that's it. We're now going to be reading it in the English. We're in 1 Samuel chapter 9, verses 5 through 11, and we're going to read that in the English.
It's the book of 1 Samuel chapter 9 and 5, verse 5. And when they were come to the land of Zuph, Saul said to his servants that was with him, Come and let us return, lest my father leave caring for the asses and take thought of us. Take thought for us. Verse 6. And he said unto him, Behold, now there is in this city a man of God, Yahweh, and he is an honorable man. All that he saith cometh surely to pass. Now let us go thither. Peradventure he can show us our way that we should go. Verse 7. Then said Saul to his servant, But behold, if we go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread is spit in our vessels, and there is not a present to bring to the man of Yahweh.
We're on 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse...
We're in 7 right now, sir.
End of verse 7. We're at the end of verse 7. We're about to go to verse 8.
What we have. Verse 8.
Let me stop right this slide. If I can. And notice that, do you see how respect, there's some people that, there's some fake groups out here that say that, you shouldn't pay respect to the man of the Most High. Notice that when they even come to the man of the Most High, they're trying to bring something to him. Right. Okay, and that was the respect and the honor. You got these fake groups out here that says, you don't pay homage or pay respect to the priests or the prophets of the Most High. Look what they're doing. They're saying, what shall we bring him? That's how much respect it was for the priest or the prophet of the Most High, a seer. Samuel was a seer. All right? And
it's not worship.
It's not, it's not a worship. It's just showing respect. It's just showing respect. But you got these fake groups out here that act like you shouldn't pay any respect to somebody of authority.
God. We in verse 8. It's like 1 Samuel chapter 9 and 8. And the servant answered Saul again and said, Behold, I have here at hand the fourth part of a shekel of silver that I will give to the man of Yahweh to tell us our way.
Notice right there, they're giving this man, they're giving Samuel a shekel. Come.
Verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of Yahweh, thus he spake, Come. Mosai Salagi. I'm going to take from the top, sir. Salagi. Cut on, sir. Verse 9. Cut on, sir. Verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, thus he spake, Come, and let us go to the seer. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. Verse 10. Then said Saul to his servant, Well said, come, let us go. So they went unto the city where the man of the Most High was. Verse 11. And as they went up to the hill, to the city, they found young maidens going to draw water, and said unto them, Is the seer here? And that's it.
And if anybody in the audience does have a question or anything like that, please feel free to ask. We're now going to be moving on. We're in 1 Samuel. We're in chapter 9. We're going to be reading verses 12 through 18. I'm going to be reading in the Hebrew first and then in the English. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 12 in the Hebrew. With a ayin yana, with thumb, with a amarna, yash, hana, lapanyaka, mahar, aitha, kaya, hayawam, ba'a, la'ayar, kaya, zabak, hayawam, la'ain, babama. Verse 13. Kaba akam, ha'ayar, kan, sama taza of one, afwa, bataram, ya'ala, haba matha, la'akal, kaya, la'a, why akal, ya'akal, ha'ain, ay, ba'awa, kaya, hawa'a, yabarak, hazabak, acharya, kan, ya'akawa, hakoratham, salakya, hakorayam, salakya, wa'aitha, awa, kaya, atwa, kahayawam, thamataza awan, athwa. Verse 14. Wa'ya'awa, ha'ayar, hama, ba'ayam, bathawak, ha'ayar, wahana, shamwa Allah, yataza'a, lakwaratham, la'alawath, habama. Verse 15. Wayahawa, gala, ath, azan, shamwa Allah, yawam, achad, lapanya, wawa'a, sha'awal, la'amar. Verse 16. Ka'aif, machar, ashalach, alyaka, ayash, ma'arataza, banyaman, it's like wama sham kathwa, lana gayad, al, anyam, yasha'ala, waha, washayai, af, anya, mayad, palashafyam, kaya, ra'ayafya, af, anya, kaya, wa'aha, taza'ai kwathwa, Olya. Verse 17. Washamwa Allah, ra'aha, af, Sha'awal, wa Yahweh, Ainawa, Hana, Ha'ayash, Ashar, Amarthaya, Alyaka, Za, Ya'itazar, Ba'anya, verse 18. Wayagash, Sha'awal, Af, Shamwa Allah, Bathawak, Hasha'ar, Waya Amar, Hagayada, Hagayadha, Salakia, Na'a, Laya, Aya, Za, Bayath, Hara'ayah. And that's it. We're now going to be reading 1 Samuel chapter 9, 12 through 18 in the English.
It's 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 12. And they answered them and said, He is. Behold, he is before you. Make haste now, for he come today in the city. It's like he come today to the city. For there is a sacrifice for the people today in the high place. Verse 13. As soon as ye be come unto the city, ye shall straightforward find him, before he go up to the high place to eat. For the people will not eat until he come, because he doth bless the sacrifice. And afterwards they eat that he bidden. Now therefore get up, for about this time ye shall find him. Verse 14. And they went up into the city, and when they were come unto the city, behold, Samuel come out against them, for to go up to the high place. Verse 15. Now the Most High had told Samuel in his ear a day before Saul came, saying, verse 16, Tomorrow about this time I will send thee a man out of the land of Benjamin, and thou shalt anoint him to be captain over my people Israel, that he may save my people out of the hand of the Philistines. For I have looked upon my people, because their cry is come up to me.
Stop right there for a second. And notice right here, this is also proof that the Most High is the one that chooses the leaders of Israel. But there's been, it's always over the centuries, even throughout Israel, there's always been self-appointed people who are not, who will self-anoint themselves, who are not chosen by the Most High. All right, let's go. Come, sir. And gives themselves their own names and their own groups.
Right.
And this is what you'll see that the Most High is the one that chooses the leaders of Israel. He's the one that appoints the leaders of Israel. Come, sir. You want to say something? So, what's your name? Go ahead, Keith.
I just want to see what that we can understand when verse 15 when it says, Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear.
Come. You know, he's the one the Most High is the one that chooses. Okay, but you're going to see, and this has been out throughout the history of Israel. People will self-appoint themselves. That's even what happened when the kingdom was torn. Is, you know, people were self-made rulers or self-made leaders. And a lot of times these self-made leaders, they'll take the people and lead them astray. They'll start compromising. They'll start, having their own ideas. And they don't lead the people to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. You'll see that throughout Israel. Throughout the history of Israel. You'll even see it today.
Right.
All
right, it's 1 Samuel 9 and 17. And when Samuel saw Saul, the Most High said unto him, Behold, the man whom I spoke of thee, this same shall reign over my people. Verse 18. Then Saul drew near to Samuel in the gate and said, Tell me, I pray thee, where the seer house is. And that's it.
Imanium. Oh, this is just for up here. Slacky. This is just for up here. Gana, present thyself in thy registry.
Gana Ya'ala.
Stop. Go ahead.
Gana Ya'ala, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashala.
Gana Ya'ala, Ban Yahweh, Ban Yashala. Amadim Shabbat. Ahmadian, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yeshabian. We're now going to be reading 1 Samuel chapter 9. We're going to be reading 19 through 25 in the Hebrew. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 19. Waya'ain shamwa Allah af sha'awal waya amar anakia hara'aha Allah lapanya habama wa akaltham anya hayawam wa shalakaf yakab bakwara no slaki babakwar slaki wakal ashar bala babka agayad lak. Verse 20. Wala afanwaf haba abadwaf laka hayawam shalashta hayanyam all af sorry hayanyam all fasham af labka laham kaya namataza awa walamya call kamatha yasha'ala hala wala laka wala call bayath abayaka. Verse 21. Waya ain sha'awal waya amar hala wa bun yum bun yum ya anakia makwatanya shabatya yasha'ala wama shapakaf ya hataza arha makal masha pakwath shabatya bun yamya bun yaman walama dabartha alya kadabar hazah. Verse 22. Wayakwak shamwa Allah af sha'awal wa af na'arwa waya ba'ayam slaki waya ba'am lasha kafha wayathan laham makwawam bara'ash hakwara wa'ayam wahama kalak kashalashyam ayash. Verse 23. Waya amar shamwa Allah latabak thana af hamana ashar nafatya lak ashar amarthya alyaka shayam aftha amak. Verse 24. Wayaram hatabak af hashawak waha'alya wayasham lapanya sha'awal wayamar hana sha'ar shayam lapanyaka akal kaya lama wa'ai shamawar laka la'amar ha'ain Korathia, the waters. Korathia, where you akal, sha'awal, ain, shamwa Allah, by yawam, hawa'ah. Verse 25. Waya radkwa, maha bama, ha'ayar, waya dabar, ain, sha'awal, al, hagag. And that's it. We're now going to be reading 1 Samuel chapter 9, 19 through 25 in the English.
1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 19. And Samuel answered Saul and said, I am the seer. Go up before me unto the high place, for ye shall eat with me today and tomorrow. I will let thee go, and will tell thee all that is in thine heart. Verse 20. And as for thine asses that were lost 3 days ago, set not thy mind on them, for they are found, and on whom is all the desire of Israel. It is not on thee in all of thy father's house. Verse 21. And Saul answered and said, I am not a Benjamite, of the smallest of the tribes of Israel, and my family is the least of all the families of the tribe of Benjamin. Wherefore then speakest thou so to me? Verse 22. And Samuel took Saul and his servants, and brought them into the parlor, and made them sit in the chiefest place among them that were bidden, which were about 30 persons. Verse 23. And Samuel said unto the cook, Bring the portion which I give thee, of which I said unto thee, set it by thee. Verse 24. And the cook took up the shoulder, and that which was upon it, and set it before Saul. And Samuel said, Behold that which is left, set it before thee, and eat. For unto this time have it been kept for thee, since I said, I have invited the people. So Saul did eat with Samuel that day. Verse 25. And when they were come down from the high place into the city, Samuel communed with Saul upon the top of the house.
Yes, correct.
Excellent. All right. This is just for the people up here. Imadium. Korala, come, present thyself in thy registry.
Banya Allah, Banya Sha'ala.
No, wait, just somebody. Let's say your name and registry.
Kerala come. Banya Sha'ala,
Banya
Banya Hawada.
Shao.
Banya Sha'ala.
Korala, come,
Banya Hawada, Banya Shao.
Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shabarakatah.
Yahweh Yahshim Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yeshabium. Okay, we're now going to be reading 1 Samuel 9, 26 to 27, and then 1 Samuel 10, 1 through 5. And if anybody in the audience has any questions, feel free to ask. All right. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 26 in the Hebrew. Wayashakamwa, Wayahaya, Ka'alwath, Hashakar, Wayakora, Shamwa Allah, Al, Sha'awal, Hagag, Wa'amar, Kwamama, Wa'ashalaka, Wayakwam, Sha'awal, Wayatazawa, Shanyaham, Hawa'a, Washanwa Allah, Hakawataza'a. Verse 27. Hama, Yawaradiyam, Bakwataza'a, Wa Ha'ayar, Washanwa Allah, Amar, Al, Sha'awal, Amar, Lana'ar, Waya Aibar, Lapanya Nawa, Waya Aibar, Wa Atha, Aimak, Kayawam, Wa Shamya Aika, Wa Shamya Aika, Af, Dabar, Alahayim. This is book of 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayakwak, Shamwa Allah, Af, Pak, Hashaman, Wayatazak, Al, Ra'ashwa, ويشكوهوا ويأمار هلوا كيا مشاخك يهوى أو نكالافوا ونكياد. Verse 2. Balakafka hayawam ma'aimadka ma'aimadya wama tazaaf shunya anashiam aim kwabaraf rachal gababwa bana banyaman batazal Tazak, Wama Amarwa, Alyaka, Nama Taza Awa. Big words today. Hawas, Ashar, Lakas, Labakwash, Wahana, Natash, Abayaka, Af, Dabaria, Nawaf. What a ag, lakam, la amar, ma, aisha, la bunya, verse 3. Wakhalagat, paf, masham, wahala, waba as, ay, alawan, sabawar, wamataza awaka, sham, shalasha, anashiam, alyam, all. Ha alahayim bayaf all achad nasha shalasha gaday gad yaham yam. We're on 1 Samuel chapter 10 verse 3. Wa achad nasha shalashta kakora waf lacham Awachad, Nasha'a, Nabal Yan, verse 4. Washa'awa, Laka, Shalalawam, Wanafnawa, Laka, Shafya, Lacham, Wala Wakaf, Mayadam, verse 5. Achar, Khan, Sabawa, Gaba, Aif, Alahayim, Ashar, Sham, Naktazabya, Palashafyam, Wayahaya, Kabaka, Sham, Ayar, Wapa, Ga'aif, Chabal, Nabayayam, Yaradyam, Mahabama, Wala Panyaham, Nabal, Wathat, Wakalayal, Waka Nawar, Wahama, Watha Nabayayam. That's it. We're now going to be reading 1 Samuel chapter 9, 26 through 27, and then chapter 10, 1 through 5.
1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 26. And they arose early, and it came to pass about the spring of the day that Samuel called to Saul to the top of the house, saying, Up, that I may send thee away. And Saul arose, and they went out both of them. And Saul arose, and they went out both of them, he and Samuel abroad. Verse 27. And as they were going down to the end of the city, Samuel said to Saul, Bid the servant pass before us. And he passed on. But stand thou still a while, that I may shew thee the word of the Most High. 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 1. Then Samuel took a vial of oil, and poured it upon his head, and kissed him, and said, Is it not because the Most High have anointed thee to be captain over his inheritance? Verse 2. When thou art departed from me today, then thou shalt find 2 men by Rachel's sepulchre, to the border of Benjamin at Zelha, and they will say unto thee, the asses which thou wentest to seek are found, and lo, thine father have left the care of the asses, and sorroweth for you, saying, what shall I do for my son? Verse 3, when thou go on forward from thence, and thou shalt come to the plain of Tabor, and thou shalt meet 3 men going up to the Most High to Bethel, one carrying 3 kids, another carrying 3 loaves of bread, and another carrying a bottle of wine. Verse 4, and they will salute thee, and give thee 2 loaves of bread, which thou shalt receive of their hands. Verse 5, after that thou shalt come to the hill of the Most High, where is the garrison of the Philistines. And it shall come to pass, when thou art come thither to the city, that thou shalt meet a company of prophets coming down from the high place with a psaltery, and a tabret, and a pipe, and a harp before them, and they shall prophesy.
Stop right there for a second. I wanted to point out something too. You notice he said, thou shalt be meet with a company of prophets. They had schools back then too. So we have the Israelite School of Universal Prayer. They had schools back then as well. Okay, it wasn't, a lot of times when people look at scripture, they think these prophets were just all alone and wandering alone. There was groups of them. Okay, there were groups of prophets, or there were schools. All right, keep it going. Slow.
I'm on verse 6. That was
it. Okay, excellent. Right. Imani. Gana Ya'ala, present thyself in thy registry.
Gana Ya'ala, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yashala.
Gana Ya'ala, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yashala.
Yahawah Shem Yahweh Shabbat
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yushabi. We're now in 1 Samuel chapter 10, and we're going to be reading 6 through 12 in the Hebrew. 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 6. Watazalka, Alyaka, Rakah, Yahweh, Waha Thanabiath, Aimma, Wana Hakath, La'ayash, Char, verse 7. Wahaya, Kaya, Saba'a Yana, Ha'athawas, Ha'allah, Lach, Aisha, Laka, Ashar, Sama Taza'ah, Yadka, Kaya, Ha'alahayim, Aimak, verse 8. Wayaradath, Lapanya, Hagalgal, Hana, Anakia, Yarad, Alyaka, Lawas, Alwas, Lazabach, Zabakia, Shalomyam, Shaba'ith, Yum, Sawakal, Bawa Awa, Alyaka, Waha, the Aithya, Laka, Af, Ashar, the Aisha, verse 9. Bahaya, Kaha, Hanafyawa, Shakamwa, Lalakaf, Ma'ain, Shamwa Allah, Wayahapak, Lawa, Alahayim, Lab, Achar, Yaba Awa, Ka, Lawaf, Ha'Allah, Bayawam, Hawa'ah. Verse 10. Wa'awa Sham. Hagaba Aifha. Wahana. Chabal. Naba'ayam. Lakorathwa. Wafa Tazalka. Alyawa. Raka. Alahayam. Wayafan Ba'a. Bathwakam. Slaki. Verse 11. Wayahaya call. Yawadaiwa. Mawal. Shalashwam. Wayara'awa. Wahana. Ain. Naba'ayam. Naba'a. Waya Amar, Ha'ain, Ayash, Al, Raihawa, Ma, Za, Haya, Laban, Koyash, Hagam, Sha'awal, Baya Ayam, verse 12, Waya Ain, Ayash, Masham, Waya Amar, Wamya, Aba Yaham, Al Khan, Hayatah, Lamashal, Hagam, Sha'awal, Banaba'ayam, and that's it. Sorry. We're now going to be reading 1 Samuel 10, 6 through 12.
1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 6. And the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shall be turned into another man. Verse.
Stop right there. And Salakia. And I'm going to explain. I think everybody already knows this, but for the new team, let's talk about the Spirit of the Lord coming. Let's talk about the vibe. Okay, it's like the vibe of the Most High, the encouragement. The encouragement of the Most High. It's not nothing. How the Christian church will say, where you're singing and dancing and you're getting the tambourine up. It's the vibe and it's the encouragement of the Most High, okay, to do what he's having you to do. All right?
1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 7. And let it be, when these signs are come unto thee, that thou do as occasion serve thee, for God is with thee. Verse 8. And thou shalt go down before me to Gilgal, and behold, I will come down unto thee, to offer burnt offerings, and to sacrifice sacrifices of peace offerings. 7 days shalt thou tarry, till I come to thee, and show thee what thou shalt do. Verse 9. And it was so, that when he had turned his back to go from Samuel, God gave... Verse 9. And it was so, that when he had turned his back to go from Samuel, the Most High gave him another heart. And all those signs came to pass that day. Verse 10. And when they came thither, to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him. And the Spirit of the Most High came upon him, and he prophesied among them. Verse 11. And it came to pass, when all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, What is this that come unto the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets? Verse 12. And one of the same place answered and said, But who is their father? Therefore it became a proverb, Is Saul also among the prophets?
All right. Imadian. What was your name? Akita, present thyself in thy registry.
Akita, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala.
Akita,
Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala.
Imadian Shabbat. Imadian Barak.
That's right.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Rakhtah.
Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Rakhtah.
Yeshadi. This means to sit or return. Okay, we're now going to be reading. We're going to be reading 1 Samuel chapter 10, 13 through 19 in the Hebrew, then in the English. 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 13. Wayakal Maha-tha-nabawaf Wayaba'a Haba-ma. Verse 14. Waya-amar Dawad Yasha'al Al-Yawa Wa'al Na'arwa An Hala Katham Waya-amar Labakwash Af Ha'atha Nawaf Wana Ra'ah Kaya Ayan Wana Bawa'a Af Shamwa Allah. Verse 15. Waya Amar Dawad Sha'al Haga Yada Na'a Laya Ma Amar Lakam Shamwa Allah. Verse 16. Waya Amar Sha'awal Al Dawadwa Hagad Hagayad Lanawa Kaya Namataza Awa Ha'atha-nawaf Wa'af Dabar Hama-la-waka La'a Hagayad Lawa Ashar Amar Shamwa Allah. Verse 17. Waya Taza Aik Shamwa Allah Af Ha'ain All Yahweh Hama Taza Pa. Verse 18. Waya Amar Al Bunya Yasha'ala Ka Amar Yahweh Alahaya Yasha'ala Anakya Ha'al Yafya Af Yasha'ala Matazarium Wa'atazayal Afakam Mayad Matazarium Wamayad Kal Wama Malakawaf Wahala Katazayam Wala Katazayam Afakam. Verse 19. Wafam Hayawam Safma Af Alahayakam Ashar Hawa'a Wamashayai Lakam Makal Ra'ai Wafyakam What's a Zarafyakam What's a Amarwa Lawa Kaya Malak Fashyam Alyanawa with Wa'aitha Hafa Itzab Yatwa Lapanya Yahweh La Shabbat Yakam Wala Allah Yakam. That's it. All right, we're going to be reading 1 Samuel 10, 13 through 19 in the English.
1 Samuel 10, chapter, lock it. 1 Samuel 10, verse 13 and 19. And when he had made an end of prophesying, he came to the high place. And Saul's uncle said unto him and to his servant, Whither went ye? And he said, To seek the ashes. And when we saw that there were nowhere, we came to Samuel. Salakia. Verse 15. And Saul's uncle said, Tell me, I pray thee, what Samuel said unto you. Verse 16. And Saul said unto his uncle, He told us plainly that the ashes were found, but of the matter of the kingdom, wherefore Samuel spake, he told him not. Verse 17. And Samuel called the people together unto the Lord at Mizpah. Salakia. And Samuel, verse 17. And Samuel called the people together unto the Most High to Mizpah. Verse 18. And he said unto the children of Israel, Thus says the Most High, God of Israel, I brought up Israel out of Egypt and delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians. and out of the hand of all kingdoms, and of them that oppressed you. Verse 19. And ye have this day rejected your power, who himself saved you out of all the adversaries and your tribulations. And ye have said unto him, Nay, but we set a king over us. Now therefore present yourselves before the Most High by your tribes and by your thousands. Water.
All right. I'm mighty. Korala, come, present thyself in thy registry.
Korala, come, ban Yahweh, ban Yahweh, ban Yasha'al.
Korala, come, ban Yahweh, ban Yasha'al.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatham.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatham. Come on up, sir.
Yeshabim, which means return. That's it.
The paper. Let me check the paper for this.
I'm gonna have you read the second to the last one in Hebrew, and I'm gonna have you read the last one in Hebrew.
All right, gotcha.
Okay. All right, we're on 1 Samuel chapter 10. We're going to be reading verses 20 through 26. So one will take 25, and then you'll take
26.
25. 1 Samuel chapter 10, 20 through 26 in the Hebrew. 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 20. Korab, Shamwa Allah, Af, Call, Shabbatya, Yasha'ala, Wayalakad, Shabbat, Bunyaman, verse 21. Korab, Af, Shabbat, Bunyaman, Lama Shapakaswa, Walakad, Wathalakad, Masha Pakas, Hamataria, Wayalakad, Sha'awal, Bun, Kwayash, Wayabakwa, Shahawa, Wala'a, Nama Taza'a, verse 22. Waya Sha'awa, Iwad, Bayahawa, Haba'a, Iwad, Halam, Ayash, Waya Amar, Yahawa, Hana, Hawa'a, Nachaba'a, Hakalium, verse 23. Waya Ratazawa, Waya Kawa, Masham, Waya Thayatazab, Bathawak, Ha'aim, Waya Gaba, Makal, Ha'aim, Masha Kamwa, Wama Alha, verse 24. Waya Amar, Shamwa Allah, Al Kal, Ha'aim, Harayatham, Ashar, Bakar, Wa, Yahawa, Kaya, Ayan, Kama Hawa, Bakar, Ha'aim, Wayaraiwa, Kal, Ha'aim, Waya Amarwa, Yahya, Hamalach, verse 25 in the Hebrew.
What? This one right there. That first one right there. Oh, that's a W. Well, okay. Waya the bara. Waya the bar. Shema. Shema.
That's a
Wa. Wa'ala. Wa'al. Sham. Wa'al. right?
Shamwa Allah.
Shamwa Allah. Al.
Good.
Hasa.
It's a ayin.
You said ha.
And it's a ayin.
Slightly. Ha. That's an I. So, kind of. Sa.
Ayin.
Right here. Right here. Alright, I'm gonna use this. Yeah. It says sa.
That's a ha.
I mean hus. Ha. Hi.
Yeah, ayin.
Ha'aim. A ka.
As. That's a thought.
A ath.
There we go. Good. As.
Musha. Mushata.
It's a pa.
Okay. Mushpa. Mushapat. Hamalaka. Hamalak. Hamalaka.
Good. Keep going.
Wayakak. Wak.
Yes. Kasab. That's a thought. Thab.
Wak. Not.
Wayakasab.
Wayakatab.
Good.
Bas. Bus.
Good.
Bus. Basapath. Ra. Basapar.
Good.
Ya.
Waya.
Waya. Waya. Waya nak. One. Knock.
Perfect. Keep going. Excellent.
La. Lapa. Lapa. Lapanya. Lapanya.
Excellent.
Yaha. Yahawa. Yahawaha.
The Lord Most High's name.
Oh, Yahweh. Wayasha. La. Wayasha. La. Laka. Lakam. Wayashalak.
Verse 25, sir. Towards the end.
Shemai. Shemau. Shema. Shamwa. Allah. Shamwa Allah.
Excellent.
Athan. Athaya. Ath. Yaka. Yakol. La. Laya. Ha'ain. Ayesha,
Ayash.
Ayash, Labai, Labaya, Dawa, Labayawa,
Labayaswa.
Labayawatha,
Labayaswa.
Yabayatha,
Labayath.
Labayath, Wa.
Excellent. Give him a hand. Excellent. All right, verse 26. Verse 26. This is the way to get to learn it. You got to get in there and got to speak it. That's the way to learn it. Got to get in there. Thanks, Captain Sapari got me straight. He put me in. Thank you. So the water, Captain Sapari.
All right, it's 1 Samuel chapter 10 and 26 in the Hebrew.
All arguments started here.
God.
Start with the first character.
Cut on, what kind, sir? Wagalma. Say it again, sir. Wagum. Sorry. Wagum. Sha'awa. La. Sha'awala. Shalawam. Sha'awam.
Khan.
Halak.
Khan.
Halak.
Khan.
Labaya.
Khan.
Labaya. Wa. Labathabwa.
So that's go ahead, say it again.
Labathabwa.
Labayathwa.
Labawathya.
Labayath. That's house.
Labayath. Wa.
Khan.
Salaki.
Now keep going. You're doing well. Good.
Ka. Gaba kath ha.
So that's the tha and the ha are connected
The tha and the ha.
at the end. So there's a tha and a ha at the end.
So
That's a ha.
the ha.
So the tha and the ha are connected.
Let me try again. Gaba I.
Khan.
Gaba I. Ka.
Tha. That's a
The.
Khan.
Waya la ba ya wa laba hayo laba
That's a wa and a ya. Waya.
wa laba waya
Waya. Mm-hmm.
all right waya la ka wa.
So the la and the ka are connected.
The la and the ka.
A Khan.
So call
Waya lock.
waya lock
Waya lock. And then put the wa at the end.
waya lock wa
Khan. Mm-hmm.
waya lock wa salai.
Khan. Keep going.
Tazma.
That's an I, not a ta.
That's an I?
That's an I.
Oh, Salaya. I'm your what?
The I and the ma are connected.
The I and the So
Khan.
I'm wa.
Khan.
I'm wa.
Khan.
Ha ka.
Mm-hmm.
Hakra ya la.
So connect the ya and the la.
The Yanala.
You said the word correctly. Just connect.
Y'all.
Con. Say it again.
Y'all.
All right. Connect it all together.
Okay, con. Hi-ka y'all.
Yeah, and make sure when you say that.
Hi-ka y'all.
Con. Keep going.
Ashara.
Okay, the Shah and the Ra connected.
Ashar.
Con.
Ashar. Nagai.
Con.
Nagai.
Con.
Allah Hai
Con.
Ya Ma.
So, something about powers.
Allahayim.
Con. There we go.
Allahayim.
So, would you get some tissue? Would you want to get some tissue? Good night. So, all right. Allahayim. Go ahead. And
Allahayim. Balabayim. I said that wrong.
So
It's like, go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Balabayim.
Balabum.
Balabum. That's it.
Excellent reading. All right, excellent reading. All right, let's go ahead and finish it off.
English.
In the English, let's read 1 Samuel chapter 10, 20 through 26. And we're going to read that in the English, 1 Samuel chapter 10, 20 through 26.
1 Samuel chapter 10, 20, verse 20. Thank you. The water.
The water.
And Samuel had caused all the tribes of Israel. And Samuel had caused all the tribes of Israel to come near. The tribe of Benjamin was taken. Verse 21. And he had caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near by their families. The family of Metri was taken, and Saul the king of Kish was taken. And when they sought him, he could not be found. Verse 22. Therefore they inquired of the Most High further, if the man shall yet come thither. And the Most High answered, Behold, he have hid himself among the stuff. Verse 23. And they ran and fetched him thence. And when he stood among the people, he was higher than any of the people from his shoulders and upward. Verse 24. And Samuel said to all the people, See ye him who the Most High have chosen, that there is none like him among all the people. And all the people shouted and said, Most High, save the king. Verse 25. Then Samuel told the people the manner of the kingdom, and wrote it in a book, and laid it up before the Most High. And Samuel sent all the people away, every man to his house. Verse 26. And Saul also went home to Gibeah, and there went with him a band of men, whose hearts the Most High had touched.
Is there any questions or anything? Any questions?
Yeah, Salah. Yes, sir. I got a question.
Come on.
All right, in verse 20, the first verse,
20.
and it said, and when Saul had caused all the tribes of Israel to come near, the tribe of Benjamin was taken. All right, and in verse 21 it said, when he had caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near, the families by their families. And all right, so when you say taken, what do you mean by taken? Like he picked those certain families?
This scripture is similar to another scripture in it's in Numbers. No, it's in Joshua. When they were trying to figure out. Now I'm gonna say I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask Cat. I'll refer to Cat. But this scripture is in Joshua when they were trying to figure out who which family was the one that was causing Israel to sin. They called the tribe forward, then they called the families forward. So I don't know if that was a tradition of Israel. I'm not sure why they would do it that way, but this is similar in Joshua. I don't know if y'all remember in Joshua, I think it was Achan, he had idols. I don't know if you remember the story. He had idols, and Israel couldn't win this battle, and they were trying to figure out why, because this man had idols.
Because he had stashed them away.
Yeah, he had stashed them away. And so the way they were finding out is they called his tribe forward, and then they called the families forward. So I don't know if that was a tradition of Israel, but I'll defer to Cap. I don't know if Cap would know the answer to that one, sir.
So,
well, I'll ask Cap, or we'll see if one of the generals or captains can answer that. But it seems like that was a tradition of Israel, or for them to do that. Call the tribe forward, then bring them forward by their families, or by their clans, then by their families. In 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 20, when Saul was pretty much being presented, because pretty much it looks like he's being presented, if I may, Cap. And it says, and when Samuel had caused all the tribes of Israel to come near, the tribe of Benjamin was taken. Verse 21, and we had caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near by their families, the family of Matri was taken, and Saul the son of Kish was taken, and when they sought him, he could not be found. Therefore they acquired further, and he was asking pretty much whether they do it that way.
Yeah, like when they said taken, like what did it mean by taken? Like what he being so like the way he broke it down, I think I got it. Saying like they were pretty much just acquiring like what was going on within the families, within that particular family. Once they broke down the tribes, right?
Correct.
The families.
Sir.
They were choosing.
This is where I'm. Go ahead.
It's like they were putting Saul in position. You get what I'm saying? So I guess they were going through all the tribes.
But like I said, this I don't know. Like I said, this could be a tradition of Israel, but like I'll confirm it. But it seems like whether somebody was being honored or when they were trying to inquire of a matter, they would select the tribe out. After they select the tribe, they would call like a clan to step forward, and then they would single them out by the family and then by the person. Because this is very similar to in Joshua when Achan, when they were trying to figure it out, they called this tribe forward. So that's a symbol. I would say that's a precept. So we'd have to probably look at that. But I'll get you a definite answer.
Come on, sir.
Any other questions? Come on, sis.
I have a question, but it's not about what we read today.
Come.
Okay, I was reading
Con, what's the scripture says? Oh.
I got
Oh, okay, no sweat.
I had a question a while ago. I just didn't ask.
It's probably in Genesis 25. I think Jacob and Esau's in Genesis 20. Well, I'm listening, sis.
I just want to know, how was Jacob allowed to marry two sisters, and it's not lawful?
Slack, sir, would you like to answer? You want? Well, okay, so.
I asked them first.
Oh, okay. So, well, first of all, we got to remember, no, it was not lawful to marry two sisters. Okay, that is in Leviticus. I want to say it's Leviticus 18. It's in Leviticus 18. However, we have to remember that Jacob was deceived. Okay, Jacob thought he was marrying Rachel. Okay, now I guess the lighting back then wasn't as good as now because he didn't find out until after he slept with her. Slack, good sir.
Question what you're trying to find out. Even though it's called a trick, like even though it's called a trick, and made him think he was marrying someone else. So once he realized we was married, he was supposed to, that he was supposed to marry the other sister. But how was he allowed to marry the other sister?
So I'll defer to Cap, but if I answer so in Israel though, we got to remember, when you are going to marry a bride, you got to remember Jacob did work for her. So it's almost the same thing as the marrying Joseph. When you work for a woman, like he put the work in for her, pretty much. And the contract. See, back then it was contract when you wanted to. He was working for Rachel. So really, what's the guy's name? The father. Laban. Laban broke the contract, really. Because in ancient Israel, when you had a contract, you made a contract between you and the father. Okay, you would go to the father, you would talk to the father, or the two fathers would talk. This is how the marriage was. The two fathers talk, or you would talk to the father, and the father would tell you a dowry or a bride price. and that was the negotiating price. So after really he worked, the contract was for him to marry Rachel. So the father really broke that contract. So legally, Rachel was already his wife. Now, of course, I know they had to sleep with each other, but legally he paid for Rachel. So legally. So, however, when he slept with Leah, that was now his wife too. But legally, Rachel was already his wife too, because that's who he worked for. That was the contract. So that's why that was still binding. Really. So that's how they both really became the wives, because by law, he worked for Rachel, the father, they both agreed, and he that's what he paid for. It's just like with the Mary and Joseph thing. It's almost similar to the Mary and Joseph situation in some ways. But when you work for a woman, by law, she still belongs to you, and then you really slept together. So he slept with Leah, that was his wife, but legally Rachel was his wife because he worked for her. If that answered Selaka's.
Why did he have to work extra years to get her?
Well, Laban deceived him. Laban, if you really look.
What I'm saying is how he was deceived him. That's breaking the law. But he must do that. How long that's still done?
Well, because from my understanding, he still wanted Rachel. He said, "Well, give her my week, and you'll serve me another 7 years." Come.
Just because when you break the law, that's not right.
So I couldn't hear you.
I feel like he wasn't supposed to have to work for it. That's why
Come.
I'm trying to get clarity.
Come.
Why was it done like that? That's the wrong way.
Come.
It shouldn't have been done like that. So I'm trying to see why. That's why I tell all that simple.
Come.
Because he married two sisters.
Come.
That's illegal.
And that's unlawful.
That done, I mean,
And that was unlawful.
pretty well get
Come. But yeah, I'll check with General Cat. But if you notice, Laban deceived him, I think, a number of times. Because even after he worked for those two wives, he deceived him again. If you look at the story, Laban was deceived. Yeah, because after he worked, I think he worked for Laban 20 to 21 years. Because after he worked for the two women, then he put another trickery on them.
With the sheep.
With the sheep, right. So Laban was very deceitful throughout the whole time. So, but like I said, I'll double check with the generals. But
I answered it like, man, I don't know what they was doing. I can't figure that out.
because if you look, actually, I think it is. If we can turn there, when it was time kept, he said, "Look, actually, can we?" Let's go there real quick, because I believe he said after he worked for Rachel, "Give me my wife." Let me go. I think it's in. Let me go to Genesis. Let me see if we can find it real quick.
Salaki, can I get your point?
Go ahead. So go ahead.
We went into bondage after Jacob and Esau was born in Egypt, correct?
When Joseph. Well, no, you're talking about. What do you mean?
After Jacob and Esau came, then Moses came, and we went into Egypt with the children, right?
With Joseph.
And that's when Moses came up with the law of a sister. That's when that law came in, when they said that you can't marry a sister and another sister.
Con, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so that was after.
But still, I think I still think it was unlawful because, well, even though Abraham, I think Sarah had some. There was a lot going on in Genesis, because I think Abraham and Sarah had some. I think they were a little bit related too. But good point. To marry your half sister.
No, two sisters. You want to marry both of them? You said, do you think it's allowed?
I thought in Leviticus you're not supposed to marry two sisters. I think it's in Leviticus 8.
It says
you can't marry two sisters. But like I said, there was a lot going on in Genesis because Abraham and Sarah are related. If you look at the genealogy, you're like, well, wait a minute, and then Moses' parents. I think Moses' aunt and nephew. There was a lot going on. When you look at the.
I know it was. Now there's so many of us that we don't have to do that.
Come.
I know back in the day, they were doing things like that, but it wasn't as many.
Come.
Today, I think back in the day, you could, but now.
Yeah, I thought that law came upon because of that situation.
It could have.
It wasn't really no law that was set that you couldn't marry two sisters before those laws in Leviticus came up.
The only reason somebody bring precept is he said Abraham kept the law, statutes. There was laws they did know. You also gotta remember when they went into Egypt, they had lost a lot of knowledge because they were in slavery for so many years. So when Moses was putting the people on the mountain, it was almost like really he was reiterating stuff that they had already lost. Like Abraham and them had an understanding of the law.
But in a sense, Salaki, if he didn't get judgment for doing that, then that means there probably wasn't a law.
There's a lot of things they didn't get judgment for. There's a lot of things they was doing they didn't get judgment for.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. You gotta remember when they went into Egypt, Israel had lost a lot of knowledge. So when you remember, like in Abraham, because Abraham, Noah, and all of them, they had the law. They did have the law because the law was given to Adam. If you look in Genesis, it says he breathed into Adam, made him a living. He gave Adam the seed. So Adam passed that law down to his descendants. So by the time Noah and Abraham, they did have the law. It wasn't like when Moses and them was given the law, there wasn't nothing like, oh, this is brand new stuff. They were just in Egypt for so many years that they had lost a lot of knowledge. Now, the point you brought up is a good point. We got to check with the generals on that. But the law wasn't just so like brand new that it was given to them on the mountain. It was because they were in Egypt for so long. They had lost. It's like us. Like our ancestors knew stuff, but when we are in school here, we're learning stuff that our ancestors already knew. If that makes sense. But that's a good point. We'll check with the generals. I wanted to read a precept for you real quick.
In Genesis?
I mean, it's in Genesis. I'm just
29 and...
when he was working for Leah.
Yeah, it's 29 and... You want Leah or Rachel? The first one?
When he said...
it's 29 and 20, sir.
Let me look for it. Okay. Okay, let me look for... All right, so Slaki sister, you look in Genesis 29, verse 20. All right, let's look at Genesis 29, verse. We're gonna start in verse 18. Let's look at Genesis 29, verse 18. Genesis 29, verse 18.
Genesis 29.
Yep, Genesis 29, verse 18. We're gonna read this. I want you to notice something that Jacob says to Laban. Genesis 29, verse 18.
And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thine younger daughter. Salahi. Verse 19. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man, abide with him. Verse 20. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel.
Okay, so he's serving for Rachel. So the agreement was you're going to work 7 years for Rachel. That was the agreement between him and the father. Go ahead.
And they seemed unto him that a few days, for the love he had for her. Verse 21.
Now look at what he says in 21. This is because of the agreement. Go ahead.
And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
He's like, I work for her, give me what belongs to me. Because that was the agreement. Give me my wife. So that's the point I'm trying to, like I said, I'll still check with the generals, but the contract, the agreement was you work, that's your wife. So that's why he was like, I fulfill my obligations, so that is my wife. But like I said, we'll double check with the general. And what Korah brought up is a good point, but we'll still double check with the general. Probably by the time of Moses, that was put in place so that it would, because it did cause a lot of conflict between the sisters. But we know now it is not lawful to marry two sisters, and that's in Leviticus. Good point, Korah. Right? Any other questions? Come.
In the book of Revelation, I believe it's
Hey, speak up a little bit.
Yeah. Are you okay with
chapter 9, which you got understanding or like the breakdown of that whole
Revelation, what's the chapter?
9 and 11, sir.
9,
Verse which? 9 verse?
11.
verse 11.
This is a man trying to figure out is it metaphor, more so metaphor, or
Revelation chapter
9 verse 11.
verse 11. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue has name Apollyon. What was the question about it?
Basically like a general breakdown, like more so metaphor or in that sense. Like,
Come. I'm going to leave this one for our General Muhammad. So look, after class, give me your information, and I'm gonna add, because this General Muhammad's, this is his. I'm gonna ask. So and General Muhammad, I usually get to talk to him a lot more. So I'm gonna ask General Muhammad for the best breakdown. This is Revelation 9 for us. So I'll get your information. Come. All right. Any other questions? I'm money.
Ya Yasha'Allah. La Yasha'Allah. Yasha'Allah.
Good enough. So, would you mind tell Cap we about to salute the Torah? Announce this out. Just let Cap know we about to salute the Torah. If you can bring Cap in here. Men of Israel, Imanian, which means to stand. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brak
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brak Yah. Oh, slide. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Brak Yah. How about Hashem Yahshua? Yeah.
Wait, try to go ahead. Right in Shabbat. No, hands on your chest. Mm-hmm. No, on your chest. Do it start low. On your chest, then you go to the Torah. Try it again. Mm-hmm.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barak Yah.
Right. To your chest. Mm-hmm.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Barak Yah. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Barak Yah.
Excellent work.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barak Yah.
Yeah, it was because we was low enough. We weren't even patient. Really.
Come. So what?
No, it is unlawful.
Come.
And it was trickery and all that stuff too.
So it had to do with church. So it had to do with.
Also, that law is there because like with abundant.
Come. So
It's over it now.
come.
But no, it is unlawful. It was like low enough. It wasn't even a nation.
So was it, so like I said, was it a lawful at first, and then it become a law because of the situation? Come. That's a good point.
So, no.
All right, this for everybody. Imadium. One punya, la hakwadam, which means rise to face east. We're going to come. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, then in the English. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodah. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Balak Wafka. Taba'ah. Rizayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baratazah. Hawa. Hayah. Shemayim. Thumna. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Slakna. Kabawakna. Kabawakna. Wala'ah. Tabi'ayna. Vanasaya 1. Say one. A ball. Habashayna. Hayah. Ra. Hayah. Lakah. Hamalakwa. Wahapa'ara. I will Amar.
In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Sisters, Yeshabu. You don't want to sleep me out, right? Okay. This concludes the service.
Give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men Israel, Amadium, Mighty Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabrak Thumb.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabrak Thumb.
That's the top. Class dismissed. Oh, sorry, face the sisters. Sisters, Amadium. Brothers, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Amadium, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Thumb Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabrak. How's the top? Class dismissed.
I gotta hit it.
This one?
I gotta hit it.
Headache?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Sure.
No, I was Shalaki.
What's up, sir?
Would you mind rinsing?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I wasn't going.
No, you good.
No, I was the reason one of the points that you made was good because I want to know the number. Perfect.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
No affiliation, why they faking? This ain't for debating. We the real, they really imitation. I be contemplating why this ain't on like heavy rotation on radio stations. I just pray the Lord give me patience, cause I'm running through these rappers like my name Walter Payton. Shitting on these rappers, 9 to 5 is my occupation. Raw, you come in with your best troops, you best bring more. Already told you I got the juice like Orenthal. Already know what I'm about to do, bet your men fall. Everyone know that we got the truth, all your men fall. So lost, overtaking our enemies. Moves calculated and orchestrated like symphonies. Smooth operated when bringing haters the misery. Top 5 list ain't shit unless you mention me. Yeah, that's why we don't associate. Fuck niggas make them more fuck niggas. Why they procreate, why they overhate, cause their time is short and a moment late. Let it culminate to they heart erase and it palpitate. Cowards perpetrate like they little group is respectable. Talking intellectual, all of you homosexuals, faggots.
There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.